Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the news that truly matters. And today we're looking at Lazard Inc. and it seems they're doing some shuffling with their company notes and money matters. So Lazard, a well-known name in finance, filed a report on July 28th, 2025, and it's not about their latest profit numbers, but more about how they plan to manage their debt and raise new funds. Think of it like a company deciding to refinance their house mortgage, but on a much bigger scale involving millions and millions of dollars. The main story here is that Lazard Group, a part of Lazard Inc., is planning to sell new senior notes. Now, senior note sounds fancy, but it's basically a way for companies to borrow money from investors. They promise to pay it back with interest. Lazard is planning a public offering, meaning anyone can buy these notes, and they're doing it through something called a shelf registration statement, which is like a pre-approved plan to sell securities over time. This is a pretty standard move for big companies looking to raise capital efficiently. Lazard Inc. itself is also backing these notes, which means if Lazard Group runs into trouble, Lazard Inc. steps in to guarantee the debt. This shows a level of confidence and commitment from the parent company. But that's not all. At the same time, Lazard Group is also launching something called a cash tender offer for its existing 3.625% senior. Notes that are due in March 2027, a tender offer is essentially an invitation to existing bondholders, the people who lent Lazard money before, to sell their bonds back to the company, usually at a slightly higher price than their face value. A tender offer is essentially an invitation to existing bondholders, the people who lent Lazard money before, to sell their bonds back to the company, usually at a slightly higher price than their face value. A tender offer is essentially an invitation to existing bondholders. However, there's a crucial condition tied to this buyback. Lazard Group will only go through with buying back these old notes if they successfully raise enough money from selling their new notes. They need enough cash to purchase all the old notes that are offered back to them, plus cover any associated costs. This strategy is aimed at replacing older, more expensive debt with potentially newer, cheaper debt. It's like trading in an old car with a high interest loan for a new car with a lower interest loan. If they manage to buy back all those existing notes, Lazard Group expects to record a gain on debt extinguishment. This basically means they're buying back their debt for less than what they owed on it, perhaps because interest rates have changed or they're paying a premium to get rid of it. In this case, they're estimating a gain of about $1.2 million. While this might seem small for a company like Lazard, it's a positive sign that they're actively managing their debt in a way that benefits them financially. Now let's look at the immediate impact of these moves. This filing is essentially Lazard signaling to the market that they are actively managing their balance sheet by issuing new notes and simultaneously offering to buy back older ones. They are likely trying to lower their overall interest expenses and perhaps extend their debt maturity profile. This can lead to more predictable cash flows and a stronger financial position. It's a proactive approach to capital management. For investors who hold Lazard stock, this kind of financial maneuvering is generally seen as a positive step. It suggests that management is focused on optimizing the company's capital structure, which can ultimately lead to improved profitability and shareholder value. It shows they're not just sitting on their current debt, but are actively working to make it more efficient. The report is signed off by members of Lazard's management, indicating that these are official company communications. While the specific details of the new notes or the exact terms of the tender offer beyond the 3.625% rate are in the separate press releases attached as exhibits, this Form 8K is the official notification to the SEC and the public that these actions are either underway or planned. Looking at the broader picture for Lazard, they operate in the investment banking and asset management sectors. Managing debt effectively is critical for these types of businesses, as it directly impacts their profitability and their ability to invest in growth opportunities. This move to refinance debt is a clear indicator of their strategic focus on financial health and efficiency. It aligns with a strategy of optimizing costs and strengthening their financial foundation for future endeavors, perhaps in a competitive market where operational efficiency can be a key differentiator. In my opinion, Lazard's move here appears to be a sensible financial strategy. They are proactively addressing their debt obligations, aiming to reduce borrowing costs and improve their financial flexibility. Refinancing debt when conditions are favourable, like potentially lower interest rates or more favourable terms for new debt, is a hallmark of sound financial management. This strategy generally strengthens a company's balance sheet and can free up capital for other investments or shareholder returns. The key risk, of course, is that the new debt offerings might not be as successful or as favourably priced as they anticipate, or market conditions could shift unfavourably. However, the company's confidence in securing the funding, as evidenced by proceeding with the tender offer concurrently, suggests they have a reasonable expectation of success. Overall, this is a positive signal about Lazard's financial management. This strategy generally strengthens a company's balance sheet and can free up capital for other investments or shareholder returns. The key risk, of course, is that the new debt offerings might not be as successful or as favourably priced as they anticipate, or market conditions could shift unfavourably. However, alright, that's our breakdown of Lazard's latest filing. What's your take on these financial moves and what they signal for Lazard's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps us out, and subscribe for more deep dives into important corporate news. Don't forget to check out our Discord channel linked in the description for more discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.